Hello friends, we are back again. Today's lesson, we are going to be looking at further indicial problems. So we are going to solve indicial problem today. Like you can see on the board, we are asked to solve 2 raised to power 2x minus 5 into 2 raised to power x plus 4 is equals to 0. This is an indicial equation. So you have such a problem like this, and in a parenthesis, just like we have here, you see 2 raised to power x. Try to make this other side be 2 raised to power x. Like you can see what I want to do on the board here is the same 2 raised to power x raised to power 2. So I have made this 2 raised to power x to be this side too. So you now see that x times 2 is 2x. So minus 5 2 raised to power x plus 4 is equals to 0. So from here, you now see that we have gotten 2 raised to power x here and 2 raised to power x here. So we now need to use an alphabet to substitute these values, these 2 raised to power x. So now we can now say let 2 raised to power x is equals to y. You can use any alphabet here. You can use W, you can use S, you can use C, you can use anything, but I'm using y here. So where I will see 2 raised to power x, I will put y. Here is y. 2 minus 5, yes, I'll put y here, plus 4 is equals to 0. You can see that we have landed to a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation. Why is it quadratic? Because it has the highest power of 2. It carries the highest power of 2. That is why it is a quadratic equation. And in quadratic equation, we have method of solving quadratic equation. We have the factorization method, the computing of square, the almighty formula, or you can call it the hero's formula. So here we are going to use the factorization method. If you try factorization method and it didn't go, try the computing the square method, or you go ahead to try the hero's formula. Any method you want to apply is allowed, but in this case I'm going to use the factorization method, and I normally advise students to use factorization method because it's an easy method to apply. So now we are going to use factorization method. How do we apply factorization method here? You look for two numbers that when you add the two numbers will give you minus 5 here, the middle term here. When you add the two numbers will give you minus 5, and when you multiply these same two numbers will give you plus 4, the constant. So now you begin to think of those numbers. Now I have thought of minus 1 and minus 4. So these are the two numbers, and these numbers here are the factors. So let's see, we are told that if we are solving problem in factorization, we look for two numbers that when we add it will give us the middle term, which is minus 5. And when we multiply it will give us the constant here. So let's see. Let's multiply. Let's add 1 plus minus 4. So 1 plus minus 4 plus times minus is minus. 1 plus minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5. So let's see whether if we multiply it, we'll have the constant plus 4. So minus 1 times minus 4, and minus 1 times minus 4 is plus 4. So minus 1 and minus 4 are the two numbers, the factors. So now we are going to substitute minus 5 here with this, with minus 1 and minus 4. We are going to have y raised to power 2 minus 1, which is 1y, minus 4, which is 4y. So minus 1y minus 4y is minus 5y plus 4 is equals to 0. So now from here we put them in parentheses. This like this, minus 4y plus 4 in parentheses. Now from here we are going to factorize. Look for what is common. What can go into y raised to power 2 minus y. So what can go into y raised to power 2 and also go into y. So what can go into y raised to power 2 and y is y. So y into y raised to power 2 is y. When I mean y into y raised to power 2 means y raised to power 2 divided by y. Y raised to power 2 divided by y is the same. Now this y times y divided by y. So this y will take this y, you are left with this y. So that is how we come by having y here. Minus y into minus y means this way. So y here 1, y here is 1. So we are left with minus 1. That is how we come by minus 1 here. So also we do same here. What can go into 4y and also go into 4? What can go into 4y and go into 4 is 4. We have 4 here. So 4 into 4y. When we talk about 4 into 4y, this is what we mean. This minus this 4y into 4. That is 4 into 4y. This is what we mean. So this 4 will take this 4, you are left with y. So now, remember that we are having minus here. Minus 4 into plus 4. So we are going to have this. So 4 will take 4, you are left with this minus 1. So we have minus 1 here. Is equals to 0. So that is, we have now factorized. We have factorized. So from here, you now know that if you factorize and the values in the parentheses are not the same, means you are wrong. If they are the same, you are correct. So what we need to do in this case is, you put these values outside the parentheses in a parenthesis. That is to say, y minus 4. We put it in a parenthesis like this. Then we take one of these, which is in y minus 1 is equals to 0. So in mathematics, this means y minus 4 is equals to 0, or y minus 1 is equals to 0. So from here, you will have problem like this. This means y minus 4 is equals to 0, and y minus 1 is equals to 0. So we are going to make y the subject of the formula here. So making the subject of the formula will collect like terms. So y now will now become, when minus 4 crosses, we will become plus 4. Or here to make y, when minus 1 crosses this, the sign of equality become plus 1. So therefore, y is equals to 4 or 1. So now, but that is not what we are looking for. We know that along the line, we have made, we are told that y should be 2 raised to power x. So now we now say, since 2 raised to power x is equals to y, for y is equals to 4. For y is equals to 4. Where you see y, you put 2 raised to power x. You have 2 raised to power x is equals to 4. So now we have come back to INDICIAL equation. So when we have a problem like this, make sure that you make the basis to be the same. So I will now have 2 raised to power x is equals to 2 raised to power 2 is 4. 2 raised to power 2 means 2 times 2, which is 4. I have made the basis to be the same. So now what we need to do, we now equate the powers. We equate the powers. We are equating the powers because the bases are the same. So now equate the power, will become x is equals to 2. So now we have done this, but we know that for y is equals to 1. Where we see y, we put the 2 raised to power x is equals to 1. We need now, what we need to do in this case is you try to make the basis to be the same. So I'm going to have 2 raised to power x is equals to, now 1 here. How do we have this side to be base 2? We know that in mathematics, in indices, any number raised to power 0 is 1. So I'm going to have 2 raised to power 0 is 1. So we have made these two sides of the equation to be in the same base. So we are now going to equate the powers. When we equate the powers, we are going to have x is equals to 0. So therefore, x is equals to 2, or x is equals to 0. So that is the value of x. X is equals to 2 or x is equals to 0. So this is how simple. Follow these steps like I've given you. Follow it carefully. Go over it and over it with your notebook and your pen. Go through it. Follow it step by step. Revise it and go over it again. You will see that this indicial equation will not be a problem to you. So we are going to look at the next problem, and that is where we are going to draw our curtain. So the next problem, indicial problem we are going to look at, given so we are asked, given that 9 times 3 raised to power x plus 1 is equals to 27 raised to power minus x. We are asked to look for x. When you have a problem like this, try to express both sides in the power of base 3. Try to express both sides in the power of base 3. Why we are expressing both sides in the power of base 3 is because we are this 3, 3 times 3 can give us 9, and 3 times 3 times 3 will give us 27. That is why we are expressing it both sides to the power of base 3. So we are going to have 3 raised to power 2, which is 9 times 3 raised to power 1 plus x is equals to 3 raised to power 3 minus x. So this is the same thing as saying this is same thing as saying 3 times minus x, and 3 times minus x is minus 3x. So now you can see what we have expressed both sides in the power of this. And now look at this one, they have the same basis. We are multiplying the same basis here. So in indices, in this case, we need to add the powers. So now become x plus 1 plus x is equals to 3 raised to power minus 3x. So when we add, now we have x plus 1 plus, no, sorry, here is 2. Sorry, here is 2. Here is 2. So we have added the powers. So it becomes 2 plus 1 is 3 plus x is equals to 3 raised to power 3x. So from here, we have the bases here are the same. So when you have situation like this, you equate the powers. Equate the powers. Equate the powers. So when we equate the powers, we are going to have, we are equating the powers because the bases are the same. So we have 3 plus x is equals to minus 3x. So in this case, we want to make x the subject of the formula here. So what we need to do is we collect like terms. So you now see that this x, when minus 3x crosses become plus 3x is equals to this 3 going this way become minus 3. So 1x plus 3x is 4x, which is equals to minus 3. So making x the subject of the formula, we divide the coefficient of x, divide both sides by 4. So why we are dividing both sides by 4 is because we want to make the x the subject of the formula here. So we now have 4x divided by 4 is equals to minus 3 divided by 4. So this 4 will take this 4, you are left with x here is equals to minus 3 divided by 4. You can see that this is the answer of x in this problem. So we have gotten x to be minus 3 over 4, and it cannot go beyond this, and the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So this stands as the answer. So while you are looking at me there, take this as an assignment. Take this as an assignment, given that 3 times 9, 1 plus x is equals to 27 raised to the power minus x. So do this, applying the same method, you will see that you are going to have a very good result. So while you are there watching at me, mathematics have been brought to the comfort of your room. You can stay in the comfort of your room to learn mathematics. But how do you do that? By remaining updated to this channel. You subscribe to this channel, share it and like it, follow it. That is the only way you can be updated. So you can stay at your time. Anytime you are done with all activities of the day, you can sit down to go through what we have just done here with your notebook and your pen. Jot out what we are doing in your notebook, follow it carefully, then do the assignment given to you here. So as you do that, you see that mathematics will not be a problem to you. We have brought mathematics to the comfort of your room. So stay blessed. I wish you all well. For those of you writing exams, NECO, NAPTEP, WAEC, JAM, you are expected to be updated and remain stable in this channel. For those of you in the higher institution also, you need this channel. The thing will help you out, will be of good. So try to see how you can update yourself by subscribing to this channel, by sharing, liking it, and following it. Thank you as you do that. Remain blessed.